Yay.
Okay, we are recording.
Welcome to our first Sunday evening of Sunday Superstar Shorts. It's our series for the summer, and we'll be doing this every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's our very first week. Our speaker was supposed to be Michael Reeves, and his father was injured in a really bad car accident today. I don't know details. But told him we would be praying for them, and he will reschedule with us when he is able. So in the meantime, we have got something else we're going to be talking about tonight, and Natalie and I kind of brainstormed today, and Janelle and several of us were kind of throwing out some ideas about some things that we wanted to talk about, and one of them is that, we are definitely all needing some bookings and some booking ideas, and Natalie has been knocking it out of the ballpark with that. And also we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the Facebook conundrum issues. And so if, Natalie, if you want to start us off, if you're having noise in the background, please mute, and I think it's fairly quiet. So Natalie, you want to start us off, and we'll interrupt with questions and so forth tonight.
Okay, so it is June 9th, so it is still the beginning of June. And how many of us still need bookings on our calendar for June? Raise your hand. Okay, I'm assuming that is everybody. I can't see some of your faces. I did see Molly clapping, so that means her team at the baseball field did well. But anyway, so how are we going to get those bookings, okay? Actually, summer can be a little bit of a challenge for all of us, and what I am doing for my team right now is, I know maybe you have heard of Pass the Beach Ball booking challenge, and what we are doing for our team is Pass the Pancake Flipper booking blitz, and I posted that on my team page. First I went live, and then I posted a picture of myself holding the ham pancake flipper. And every time somebody so I tagged everybody on the team, active people on our team. So these are people that have not gone inactive as far as they're done with Pampered Chef. So I keep some of those people on the team. But anyway, tagged everybody that still has sales within the last 6 months. And every time there's a booking, that person is supposed to then tag the next person that they want. So we've gotten, actually Alicia is on my team, and I think there's now up to 9 bookings from our team. And that's collectively, not everybody is participating. But what I am doing for my team is every booking gets put into a raffle, okay? And out of that raffle, I am going to send cash to the winner. So not the host, but the consultant who booked that party. So that's how we're doing it. And I am not going to do that for all of you because there's quite a few of you, but reasons to book in June, there's a couple of them. So the first thing is, it's double host dollars with your host's $650 party. And it has to be $650. So in case you did not know that, it has to be $650. It cannot be $500. It cannot be $300. And you've got to make sure that your host knows that right away, okay? And then also, so the double host dollars is huge. Another thing is, it is our second month, actually third month if you think about it, of our free-for-all. This is the second month of the free-for-all for the free fall products. So you do want to hit at least the $750 level. And that's about $60. And then the second level of $1,500 goes up to a couple $100. So you do really want to hit the first level, but you really want to hit the second level. So how many of us want to have at least $1,500 in sales for June? Raise your hand if you do want to have $1,500. Okay, I'm not seeing everybody's hand, but that's okay. So how many of us at least want to have $750? Raise your hand if you're $750. Okay, so that I believe is everybody. So if you don't have the shows on your calendar, I would recommend a booking blitz. And I am going to post after this Zoom recording some words to say. And that's what I posted on our team page. And I think that was helpful. And here's how you can reach out. You can call if you want to. But everybody has their phone on them. Not everybody answers their phone, okay? So you can text and you can Facebook Messenger. And I would recommend you reaching out to 20 people a day. So I do know April Dumont had said that Michael Yoakley has been green dotting 20 people a day to get his June calendar full. And I know we've talked about the 25 two-way contacts, right, every week, but let's do green dotting of 20 people a day until your calendar is where you want it, okay? Another thing that I do at cooking parties, so how many of you guys still do cooking parties? This is where I was gonna go for. Who does not? Raise your hand if you do not do cooking parties. If you do not do cooking parties, you could do this in a Google form on your virtual parties. Maybe put that in your notes. You could turn this into a Google form. So I do on the door prize drawing slips. So the slip of paper that says thanks for joining us, and I don't think I have any. Yes, I do. That's right here. It says thanks for joining us. Okay. So you can do this portion on a Google form, and then you can do what I do at my cooking parties on a Google form if you want to. So I have everybody get this out, and I have them turn it over, and I have them number it off 1 through 4. Question number 1, and I ask them 4 questions. Question number 1 is, what would you purchase tonight if money were no object? Or what would you purchase today if money were no object? And they answer that. You wait about a minute. Then question number 2 is, what would you do with an extra $300 a month? And okay, so this is checking yourself too. So first of all, hopefully, question number 1, you've talked about high-end power tools, right? Question number 2, hopefully you've talked about the fact that a normal average consultant first starting out earns about $300 to $400 for that first month. And that's done in 2 to 3 parties, okay? Question number 3, what is something that you learned from this party? And so hopefully that you've given them some education and some entertainment with your party, whether it's virtual or cooking. And question number 4 is, what was the best thing about this party? And then I keep, okay, so then they turn it over, they start filling out the front side, whoops. They start filling out the front side at the actual cooking party. And while they're filling that out, I ask them to tell me what their answers were. Okay, so here's a twist on it. Last month when I was asking, I was really, first, before I asked these questions, and somebody has some background noise, so if you want to mute yourself maybe. But last month, when I was trying to get bookings in June, I knew that the June host specials were the ice cream maker, the quick sickle maker set, right? The cool and serve square set, or that summer entertaining set, which has a cool and serve square tray, and the bubble waffle maker, okay? So guess what I was really talking about last month? I was talking about those 4 things, right? So last month when I was asking them, if money were no object, what would you get out of the catalog? Most of the responses were the ice cream maker, the bubble waffle maker, that whole cool and serve set, because I talk about it as a set. Do you see what I'm saying? So that helped me get bookings then for this month. So guess what I'm talking about in July? You have to know your host bonuses for the next month, or 2, depending on when you need those bookings. So I had a show on Saturday, and I asked, well, I don't care if I need permission, because I'm just going to say it anyway. Molly and I had been talking, and I was on my way to my party, and no, I wasn't. This was the night before, and I said, I hope I have a good party on Saturday. And we were talking about, we used to pray about our shows before we go to every party, and it was just amazing how it would be blessed, seriously. So on my way to my party, I was praying. I'm like, oh, Lord, just please bless my party, and I really need bookings in July, and just help me say the right things, help me be a blessing to the people today, you know, help me do what I need to do and say the right words so I can continue my business. And I don't know if you guys ever feel that, but it's just like, oh my gosh, I need to do more. And I was panicked. So instead of panicking and worrying, I decided to pray about it. And Saturday's show right now, April, is over $1,100, and she's still going. And she has 5 bookings, okay? But it's not just the prayers, right? It's not just praying. You know what it is? It's actually doing the work. That's what I firmly believe in. So on Saturday, I had Friday night looked at the host bonuses for July, and it was the grill stuff, right? So it's the grill pans, both sizes, the big one with the grill presses, 2 of them. It's the grill, the indoor-outdoor portable grill, and it's the Rock Crock set with the everyday pan and the Rock Crock grill stone. If you don't know your upcoming bonuses, you've got to know them, okay? So guess what we talked about? Those are the power tools that I talked about a lot at that party. That's what I talked about. And when people were filling out number 1, guess what most of theirs said? Grill pan, grills, Rock Crocks. So when I went to do my full service checkout, okay, and you can do express party checkout if you want to, but they still have to check in with you, right, before they leave. I'll be like, hey, Tammy, I see that you said you wanted to have a party. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that? I also see that you would love Rock Crocs. Guess what's happening in July? And guess what? I got 5 bookings. One of them is in August. 5 of them are in July, or 4 of them, are in July. And I honestly think that has a lot to do with it. That's for bookings. And just remember, what would you do with an extra $300 a month? That is your permission to talk to them about maybe that bill that they have, maybe that student loan that they have, and say, you know, a new consultant starting out can make $300 a month very easily, and I will train you. Now, if you don't know how to train them specifically because you're new, you can have your upline help you with that. So anybody on my team, I'm very happy to do a 3-way call with you, to touch base with them however you want me to do it. So, is that what you wanted me to say, April? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I wanted you to say. So that's awesome. So I love Michael Yoakley's plan of doing 20 green dots a day, and I think we just do that till our calendars are like we want them to be, right? And the other thing, Natalie, I wanted you to share about, because you mentioned when we talked last week, or maybe it was when you and I talked, that you did 4 virtual parties per week, and that you sold, of those 16 virtual parties, $7,500 in the month of May, doing 16 virtual parties. How many of you guys would enjoy having a commission check from a $7,500 month? Anybody? Y'all want it? So what are you willing to do to get it? So we want to really work on doing it. Go for it, right? Go for the prize. So Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about how you build your calendar up with that? Where did those bookings come from? What words did you use to do that?
Well, I am mostly, it's now half and half, and now even with this Facebook scare with the algorithms or whatever's going on, I'm not yet in Facebook jail, and I started 3 today, okay? But in the month of May, I had a huge goal. I did. I had a big, scary, audacious goal. And what I have found is, well, first of all, on the slip, if you do cooking parties, on this slip right here, use the home office one, because it does say virtual parties on there. And when they click, okay, or you can do, you can do a Google form if you do virtual parties now, but it does say virtual party on there. And don't ignore that. And what I was doing when they'd even do maybe, I'd be like ignoring it, which is awful of me, because it actually gives us permission to ask them what maybe means for them. And a lot of times those maybes turn into yeses. More so with virtual parties than they do with cooking parties, because it's too much work. I think people equate cooking parties with work, right? Whereas virtual parties, they don't think it's as much work. Not that you don't have to coach them as much. You do have to coach them as much or more with virtual parties than you do with a cooking party. Because you can actually reserve some of that coaching for when you're booking the party with the cooking party, when you get to their house with that cooking party. You know what I'm saying? You can delay the inevitable with the cooking parties. With the virtual parties, you have to be on it right away. But I also have found that virtual parties book from virtual parties. So I had an over $1,100 virtual party, and Leisha is the virtual party queen here, because she has like $1,000 virtual parties all the time. But what I found is virtual parties book from virtual parties. Mm-hmm. And if it's a good virtual party, they're probably more than likely going to be a good virtual party again. Whereas if they're kind of struggling, it ends up, then those bookings kind of struggle. And I don't know if it's because there's a banter. I don't know if they just, I don't know. But you can also, you know, when you're green dotting, and if you're on Facebook green dotting anyway, more likely than not, it's going to be a virtual party that they're going to want to have. So, and I think it's because people, they just want easy. And little do they know they're still going to have to work, but you make it fun for them. That's all. They don't have to clean their house, though. They don't have to clean their house. They don't have to go grocery shopping. Think about that. All they have to do is get 100 people that they're going to add to this thing, right? The event or the group. They're going to add them, and then those people have to accept that invitation. And I tell them, add 100 people, so you get 30 people to say yes, and out of those 30 people, you're going to get 8 to 10 to order. And because you're only going to get 8 to 10 to order, and the average virtual party order is usually smaller than a cooking party, because of that, you still have to send them a host pack, and I give them 2 books and 10 order forms, and I tell them it is your responsibility to get 5 orders outside of the virtual party, because not everybody is going to be engaged on Facebook, or maybe they have different hours, or maybe they have, you know, kids that had makeup ball games because of all the rain. And pretty soon they're doing 5 ball games every night that virtual party that they normally would be able to follow up with it.
It's true. I was going back and catching up on some coffee talks, and the coffee talk from this Saturday, if anybody listened to it, with Kristen Coy, she was talking about onboarding new consultants, and she has the words that she gives new consultants to use that any of you guys could also use for being able to get, you know, when you're texting or green dotting with people. And here's the word she used. She says, "Hi, so-and-so, I'm beginning a new journey, and I'm asking you to be my guinea pig. I'm asking you to do a virtual party with Pampered Chef. They're super fun with games, tips, tricks, recipes, and tools. You will need to add your guest to the group page, play along with your friends, and watch the magic unfold. Are you willing to help me out while I spoil you with free products?" And she has the cute little picture that has a guinea pig with a chef's hat on, and it says "Party Hosts Wanted." Has a little bitty oven beside the guinea pig, and y'all probably seen that graphic before, but it's posted on the Coffee Talk page. If you guys are not on Coffee Talk, I think that's a really good place to be, you know, to get a lot of fresh ideas. And you can go back and listen to old calls that are in there about whatever thing you're struggling with. But I really like the words that she used, and I'm actually using those with some of my new people that I trained today. So, you know, a good thing to be able to, you know, just put it out there and ask. And if you've been doing virtual parties and you're tweaking them a little bit, you still need guinea pigs, right? So it's still good.
I'd be really careful about if you end up posting that or you see that post, you guys, I would not copy and paste anything anymore onto virtual parties or even your own Facebook wall. I would actually, I'd be very, very careful about that, because I know that they're not coming down necessarily hard on just Pampered Chef consultants or just direct sales, but it seems like it's direct sales because we do a lot of copying and pasting, and we're sharing a lot of the same images with the same wording. Mm-hmm. So I would be really careful. I mean, maybe find another guinea pig picture and change up that wording, make it your own.
Mm-hmm. Well, Natalie and I were talking today about wondering if the new Disney Pixar pictures might be affecting people getting in Facebook jail, because so many people are using those right now and we're not supposed to alter them in any way, and wondering if that might be making a difference. So an alternative thing you can do is make your own pictures. So use them in your kitchen and show yourself using those items. And then you can be able to, use those instead. So, or go live, do something live. I think going live is one of the things that's not putting people in Facebook jail. So that's another thing to be able to do. Are any of the rest of y'all been in jail? I've been in jail this week. Anybody else been in jail? And Brenda's been in jail, and Janelle's been
Lori's currently in jail.
Do what you did?
Yeah, last night I got put in. How long does it last? Because my
varies.
here are still going. Yeah.
Mine was 36 hours, and a lot of people are 36 hours.
Okay. Not me. One of my consultants got put into jail. She doesn't know what she did.
I didn't do anything, and I had 2 parties last week. I have 2 parties this week, and last night at 10:30, I got put in jail. I got an email from Facebook that said that there was suspicious activity on my account and I need to change my password. So I did that, and then my posts are going because I relinked Cynthia really quickly, but none of that's been stopped, but I can't comment or do anything like that. So it's weird.
There's
here's something that I did. So this is before I've been put in jail, and I haven't been put in jail yet, but I went live on all 3 of my virtual parties. Actually, on 2 of them I went live. On one of them I recorded, and I thought I was just going to put that recording on each one of them. I decided not to do that. I decided to go live in 2 and put the recording on the 3rd. Okay, so they're different, if that makes sense. And I explained to them that Facebook has been crabby lately. This is to everybody that's on the party. And that I am now not going to post the link in every single post that I normally would have done.
Yeah, I don't know.
I let them know where the link will be, okay? I also let them know if I would happen to get thrown in jail that I would work very closely with the host and that it would not compromise their ability to order from the party, and that the host can still do very, very well. So I am happy to post that video when we're done here so you guys can see kind of what I did. And I just did it because I thought I'm going to combat it before it would actually happen. And then if it happens, it's okay. So I almost might do that in every party, not to scare them, but just to say it's been crabby or it's been, like a menopausal woman, which I am. So whatever.
You even have technical issues like you're using Post My Party. I know with Cynthia, they've changed things. Like there was a time you couldn't put multiple pictures through. Facebook changed something, and it's always weird how they change stuff on weekends. I wouldn't think weekends would be a day that they launch new things in their program, but it seems to be when they do the changes mostly. But I've only, like I had my old party format, I used to have multiple photos. Then I started making collages, like, on there's a couple apps that you can merge photos together. So I did put multiple photos, but in one picture because they wouldn't let you do multiple pictures and different things. And mind you, I've been doing virtual parties probably since 2015. So I know a lot changes, but I'm like with this latest one, I don't think I did anything weird, nothing that I normally do. And I'm not doing the volume I used to do. So that's what's even weirder is I only have 2 shows going on right now the last 2 weeks. I'm using the identical formatting. So then today what I did is I changed it up and I basically just, whatever I would normally post on day 1, I moved to day 5 or 6. And then I just switched the format of the days because that's the other thing I thought maybe might get me out. But anyways, yeah, it's just very weird. I was reading it yesterday on some of the groups of all the people that got put in and I was just thankful it wasn't me. And then at 10:30 last night it struck. So
there's a theory out there that it's actually Facebook protecting people from something that was being spammed into certain accounts. That the people that are actually being frozen out of it, there was some sort of spam entering into your account. So Facebook took and isolated you, and then they're correcting that problem. So I read that today. There's a lot out there.
I had to answer a whole bunch of questions. Like, did you friend these in the last week? And there was one person that I didn't friend.
Yeah.
That I didn't name of. So that I could have been spammed. And then it said like, what are these your recent, or any of these not your recent posts, but they were all my recent posts. There was,
yeah,
it was kind of stressful because I was like, oh my God, what if I answer one of these wrong? Because I do a lot on Facebook. I didn't know, and between all my shows and everything. So, but there was one friend person that the name was not familiar.
So here's and part of that theory.
Fishy?
Yeah.
Fishing. So Becky Wolfinger, she said too that because we're not quite so sure what's happening, is any account that you have linked, like if you pay through Messenger, to unlink it, because maybe it has something, you know what I'm saying? It'd be awful to get that compromised. So maybe they are trying to protect us too. They could be trying to protect us and then locking us out for a little bit. Maybe they're doing some research. I'm sure there's going to be things coming out. I'm sure CinchShare is working on it, and they will let those CinchShare users know. I'm sure Post My Party will also let those people know. And I know Pampered Chef is on top of it all the time. So just keep doing what you're doing, and do the recommended things. Take out some things, change wording, whatever they say to do or not do. And then I'm sure within the next, I'd say several days, we'll probably find out what's going on.
Well, and I think in the meantime, I'm going to be limiting the Disney Pixar pictures that are unedited. I'm going to be limiting that a lot, and maybe do that in a different way. Now, Natalie, you mentioned that you told people where the link was. Where do you think the safest place to put that? Is it okay to put it in the description of the group? Or
I put it so the announcement, I always have an announcement, and it's the teal colored picture of the two ladies at a coffee shop looking at the phone, and it says what to expect from the party or whatever. And it's that announcement, I kind of tell them how the party's going to be working, when it's closing, when cards are going to be charged, and I post the link in there. So that's where I tell them that it's going to be in that announcement. And then again, I posted the link on my live video explaining kind of what's going on.
Well, I had seen something that said, be careful about listing things, saying the words like free and several other things that were, red flag kind of things, just right now, not always, but just right now, to be careful about words.
Free giveaway. Don't say giveaway.
Another thing, so when you guys are also doing your templates, or if you're scheduling them through Facebook, or if you're just doing your own post, you know how sometimes it'll make it look like you're selling it on Marketplace. It says contact for seller. You can now go back in and you can say you can undo that. So make sure none of your posts have contact seller. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So I went to my party.
I heard somebody say don't put prices on anything.
I heard that too.
Well, yeah, right. Don't do that too.
I read
if people
prices
ask for
in the
prices,
comments.
actually, I wouldn't even do that, Janelle. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to private message that person. And I'll say, I'm private messaging you now, so look for my message. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not putting it on the party.
Sometimes I also take a snapshot through my phone, and then I just send them the picture on the Pampered Chef website, so they can have the whole description and everything that they can go to. I do that mostly too.
Yeah, I do that sometimes from the app, because the app has just a really nice little, thing that gives them the main stuff they need to know.
I would just tread lightly. I mean, there are people that got put in
do you know with
sharing weird stuff, like lost dogs. So there is something out there. So tread lightly and be authentic is what they say. Be yourselves.
Leisha, what were you going to ask?
Well, I was just going to ask, because I know some of my posts that I schedule in Facebook Scheduler right now, I go through and turn off that. I mean, I have it like marked in my template on my paper, which ones that I have to go and change off. And I've tried changing wording, and it seems like those particular posts always come up with the marketplace. So I just didn't know with Post My Party or CinchShare if any of those, because I can't turn it off ahead of time.
You can't turn it off ahead of time. I wonder if that's something they're working on, though. I wonder. I don't know. It's just a theory I have. Just because it was acting different today when I was trying to undo that portion of it. Like it did it immediately. It was not hard at all. But it's not like you can do it ahead of time. You have to do it afterward. So it's like as soon as it posts, I'm just on there.
Yeah. See, sometimes I'm afraid, because sometimes I'm not, I mean, with 3 kids and all the activities and this and that, like I'm not, it'll post and I'm maybe not able to get onto the party to check it out for another half hour or so. So I just didn't know if there's a way. I'll have to try to play with wording again. I've tried rewording it, and I didn't know because maybe I should take my item numbers off. Because I at least put the product number or the item number.
Anytime you've got numbers in there, it perceives it as a price and yanks it up there and tells it's marketplace. I would take those out.
Okay.
And I have noticed, Leisha, too. So if I am saying, for example, a diameter of something with numbers, that does it too. So I would make sure. I know this. For those of you that don't do Facebook parties, don't get bored with this because eventually you'll do them, whether you want to or not. So.
Well, and I even noticed too, like Alicia, I've even been noticing that like some of my stuff, like the post will go, but then like my pictures aren't going. And I've even tried to update like with putting, like how we've talked about going in different apps and putting different backgrounds on ones. For whatever reason, they keep blocking my stoneware collection of the colored stones. And then my food chopper this last month, with it being a special, they kept blocking that. So I kind of, it's like old school products, which is interesting that they, not newer things that they're blocking.
On ScentShare?
I'm on ScentShare, yeah. And ScentShare wasn't sending my photos through, but they would send my words through, which was really interesting.
Because I'll get on Post My Party, we'll get a thing that pops up that says this picture's been used too much, you need to choose something else.
Okay, yeah, ScentShare is not nice enough. They don't tell you that your photos. And the weird thing is my photo, I even like, put a different background on it, and it only got to go through 1 or 2 photos, and then it was blocked out again. Or 1 or 2 parties and then blocked out again.
One other thing too, this is a theory I had. How many of you guys have a YouTube channel that you put the Pampered Chef videos into your YouTube channel so you can put them on your, anybody? Okay,
I only post the Pampered Chef videos.
Okay, Nicole, I wouldn't use a YouTube channel to put the Disney Pixar things into your YouTube channel. Only share them from Facebook's YouTube channel.
I actually have not done nothing with Disney other than when they first came out. I really have not, and I haven't had any online shows. I'm actually starting some Friday, but I have not even shared those photos.
So proud of you.
Nope.
Yay. Smile, girl.
She sounds so excited.
Not excited.
Oh, it'll be fine. You wait.
My last 6 didn't even hit $200, so there you go.
Well, last month they all rocked for me, and then my one that's ending tonight, she's just at like 258. So
I'm working on my template.
I'll get the bad one out of the way so I can get rolling with the good ones.
Yep. At least you didn't have to. Okay, so think about it like this. At least you don't have to drive an hour and a half away to go do a $200 show, right?
I know.
If there's any other questions or comments, we've gone past our 30 minutes by 15 already. So if anybody has anything else, and otherwise, we will next week. And I'm trying to remember who's next on the schedule.
I think it's Shaprice.
Shaprice?
Yeah.
She'll be good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's East Coast person, so we might start hers just a little early, I think. That's what Kara told me, was that because she has littles that she's got to put to bed and so forth. So I think we're going to be watching for time because we may bump it up just a little bit. But she goes live a lot, and that's what she's going to be talking about. And we will reschedule Michael because he is a total rock star, and we got to be able to get him back on. So I think our next open date is sometime in the early part of July. And so hopefully we'll be able to get him. So anyway, prayers for Michael's dad, and hopefully he's okay. I'll see what I can find out. And otherwise, tread lightly, but keep on keeping on with Facebook parties, right? So
And do your own booking blitz.
What now?
Do your own booking blitz.
Yes, definitely. Who else had something they were saying? I missed it.
What is the program that you're talking about to do Facebook parties or virtual parties? This is Rhonda, and I need to set up my first one tomorrow.
So there's 2 different programs. I use ScentShare, which is a free program, and then others on here are using Post My Party. Both of them, you can get like 30 days free and then pay for a subscription, or 7 days free. They're all different. But you can look up both of those, ScentShare and then Post My Party. You could also do Facebook Scheduler to start until you know.
Free.
It's free. Yeah. Until you really get it going. It's free. You can basically just, on the bottom, when you go to post, there's a little clock that you click and then schedule. You can also Google it, and there's some YouTube videos on showing you how to do it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Hey, Rhonda, I'll share my on our team page too, so you'll see where it's at.
Okay, excellent. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, and for those of you guys that have not already registered for conference, be sure and do that. The 15th is cut off for early bird, so you want to get in as cheap as you can, right? So be sure and register this week, and we will see y'all next Sunday. Mary, thank you so much for recording, and if you don't mind, can you save it to YouTube and post the link back on our Disney page? Or you can send it to me. I friended you while we were been on the phone call.
Yes, I did see that come through.
Okay. Thank you so much.
What is? Can you remind me what the group is called?
Diggin Deeper For Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tag you. I'll tag
that'd be
you.
great.
I'll make sure you're in it and tag you there. Okay. But thank y'all so much, everyone, and we'll see y'all next Sunday night. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.